guys, welcome back to another episode of T-A-HUNTERZ. I'm Terry West, and that is Drake, my little French bulldog. He goes everywhere I go, especially when topping up squirrel feeders, and that's what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be going out, taking on a few squirrels, but first of all, that wood just over my shoulder is a brand new location. It's a pine wood, and it's quite dense in there, to be honest. Obviously no one's been in there for absolutely years. The landowner has said to me, get in there and just take many squirrels out as you can, because they are a bit of a pain. But we've been in there, we've got a squirrel feeder now. It's been up and going now for, I would say, 3 weeks now. I did give it 3 weeks on it, but be honest, the first week after topping it up, there was no activity at all. Came back and hardly no peanuts have been taken out of the feeder, so I bedded with it for a little bit longer, and I thought I'd come back a few days later, maybe 4 days later, and the feeder had been literally hammered. So I kept feeding it for another couple of weeks, and yeah, it is absolutely been smashed up with the peanuts. So I know that there's plenty of squirrels in the area. So tomorrow, there's a hare over there, well, you're not going to be able to see it. So tomorrow I'm going to come down here nice and early. The rifle I'm going to be using, or my setup, is going to be the FX Impact Mk2 sub 12 foot-pound 22 caliber. Lovely rifle, very, very accurate. And I've got the Mk2 Zulus scope, digital day and night scope, and it gives out some fantastic footage on that. So that's my little setup for tomorrow's squirrel shoot. So right, I'm going to get back off home now. Looks like I've got a bit of a red nose going on, I've caught a bit of sun. But I want to get home now, and then I head out in the morning, and we will be heading in that wood and taking on a few of these nasty little grey squirrels. So right, it was roughly about 6:25 to about 6:30. I do finally head into this dense pine wood. We've got the hide already set up. This has been here now for at least, what, 4 days. This has been in place just to let the squirrels get used that there's something different in the woodland. I've got about 10 minutes setting up with all different cameras in the hide. I've got a GoPro as well by the squirrel feeder. But while I was setting up, I do spot a bit of movement just beyond the squirrel feeder, and we've got the first squirrel. But be honest, I do check with the thermal imager, the HIC Micro Lynx Pro. And I do spot, be honest, I do spot 3 squirrels. There's 2 in front here, as you can see, but there's 1 at the bottom of the tree to the left-hand side. So we have got 3 squirrels around the area. So all I've got to do now is just sit back and wait. And as soon as the first squirrel made his way up to the squirrel feeder, we can start the squirrel shoot. So right, as you can see, the GoPro is struggling a little bit with the lighting. It is quite dark in this woodland, but I do switch over onto the digital scope, the Zulus, and the picture is a lot clearer. So right, that's the first squirrel in the bag with a nice clean solid headshot. We do get a bit of movement on the floor. All this is the brain shutting down. The squirrel is completely dead. And then we have to wait a few minutes later, and we've got his mate come to investigate. Bit of flicking of the tail there. That's a sign of being a little bit nervous, but food is more important at the moment. So I do take my time with this shot. I want the squirrel to settle down with holding a peanut so I can camera the shot. He doesn't, so patience has got to me now. I'll just take him out with a nice solid headshot. And I do catch something exploding off his head. I do slow the footage down and boom, that pellet goes straight into the eyeball, and that's what you see earlier, exploding over the feeder. The rifle I'm using obviously is very, very accurate for this squirrel shot. Obviously it is the Impact, FX Impact Mk2. The feeder is 22 meters away from the hide, and is an ideal distance to be shooting these squirrels from. So that is number 2 squirrel in the bag. And then here we go, we've got number 3. So right, that is the 3rd squirrel taken out, just like the other 2. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put the rifle down. I'm going to quick jump out, stretch the old legs, and bring the squirrels back in to the hide. So right, be honest, the reason I did come out from the hide is to stretch the legs, but also is to clear up these squirrels which are laying all over the floor. You know, you don't really want to leave these laying around because this could cause other squirrels not to come in to the area. But be honest, after picking that squirrel up there, that was quite heavy. You know, these, bloody hell, these do weigh an absolute ton. Obviously been tucking into the peanuts for the last 3 weeks. You're going to be a bit fat in you. But anyway, let's get these 3 in, and hopefully we ain't going to wait too long for the others to turn up. So right, I was about to say, having the pheasant at the bottom of the feeder will calm these squirrels down, you know, settle them down a little bit more. But this one is not. So what I've had to do, I've had to speed the footage up on this, because this one is not settling down at the minute. But when he does, we'll come back to him. So right now he has finally settled down. He jumps down the side of the feeder and he goes to grab a peanut, and then right, crosshairs on the head, go to take the shot, and then realise I haven't cocked the rifle. So obviously school by error there. And right, let's get back on point now. Bang. Pellet straight inside the head. And finally, we've got squirrel number 4. So finally got myself ready, ready to take the shot, and they all decide to turn up at once. All I've got to do now is wait for one of them to settle down and we can take the shot. So I did have to give this squirrel a quick follow-up shot. After the first shot, he ended up laying up on the side of the feeder on the ledge. So second shot was taken, and this time he fell to the floor, and it is lights out for this squirrel. I've noticed that there is a couple of squirrel drays right above the hide. So this is probably where some of the squirrels are coming out from. Right, I catch that squirrel leaping from one tree to another on the thermal. Good thing about thermal, nothing can really get away from you. You know, you think it's going to hide, but got no chance. This thermal spots literally everything. And we've got this one here. It's got to wait for them to settle down. This one looks like a nice, easy shot, this one. Right, he settles down, crosshairs on the side of the head, and down he goes. I do notice he's not flicking around on the floor, this one, so got to recock the rifle, and we will give him a quick full-up shot just to make sure on the back of the head. And now he is finally gone. When they fall to the floor, I really want to see them like moving around a little bit, you know, where the brain is literally shutting down. If a squirrel falls to the floor and doesn't move around a lot, that means he's either wounded or something like that. So, quick follow-up shot needs to be done just to make sure that squirrel is properly dispatched. So right, the squirrels are looking a little bit nervous now. I think it's time I have to jump out from the hide and go and retrieve these remaining squirrels on the floor. But first of all, let's wait for this one to settle down. This one is very, very nervous. He doesn't want to be hanging around on that feeder. So he does decide to head up to the top of the tree, or halfway up the tree. So this is where I'm going to try and take the shot and get him out. What I'm doing is feed that pellet right between them twigs or little branches there. Once he moves, I can take the shot. So right after dangling on that branch, he does fall to the floor and he does settle down. But what he's done, he's obviously where he was hanging from that branch, he's covered my feeder with his blood. I'm just hoping that scent of that blood doesn't scare the rest of the squirrels away. So right now he's gone a little bit quiet. Been about 15 minutes since the last squirrel was on the feeder. But we do spot this squirrel here behind this tree. He thinks he can hide from me. I've got a thermal imager here and I can spot him. He's playing hide and seek with me. Obviously all his body's laying on the floor. He knows there's something up, so he decides to run off. But we've got a few pigeons. Yeah, be honest, I'm not here to take out the pigeons, you know. But be honest, they do linger around a little bit. I do speed the footage up again, you know, but should I take the shot? Should I not? These are wood pigeons and these are vermins, and the land owner does want them out of his wood. You know, also my dog loves the pigeon as well, so we'll take a shot only for the dog. Dog can have a pigeon, I think. I've got to put the pellet straight between them branches, and I miss. Oh well, missed the pigeon, but we've got a squirrel here. Let's see if we can take him out before he gets to the feeder. Bang. Nice headshot. Got another dangler one there. Gripping onto the branch. Last bit of nerves kicking in there. And he does finally fall down. Right, am I going to jump out now? And nope, there is another one. I was literally just about to jump out from the hide and go and bring these squirrels in, you know, and as soon as I shot that one, look up and there's another one. So let's see if he's got any problems with all that blood laying on top of the squirrel lid. Let's see if that will scare him away, and obviously it doesn't. It's a good old sniff. Yeah, he knows there's something not right here. Looking down, seeing all his mates on the floor. Has a quick sniff of the blood. Doesn't seem that bothered, to be honest. Am I going to take a shot from now, or shall I wait for him to go down? No, he seems to be more interested in the blood on top of the lid. So he does finally jump down on the side of the ledge, and we'll quickly crosshairs on the side of the head, and we'll take him out, hopefully, with a nice solid headshot. And he goes down. So right, what I'm going to do now, I am going to go and jump out and pick these squirrels up. Right, let's go and pick these squirrels up. So, I picked up 6 more of the squirrels, as you can see, and I'll tell you what, these squirrels are absolutely beasts. This weighs an absolute ton, you know. Got 6 squirrels in, they don't really weigh this heavy. Obviously, leaving the feed out for about 3 weeks, I've bagged quite a few in. I've got 6 here, and then 3 more in the hide. But I just want to show you something quickly. Let's pick one up. I'll pick any one up. As you can see, these squirrels are absolutely massive. That's still warm, that one. Let's get this one here. This one's a big one. Yeah, look at that one. Absolutely beast, these squirrels. But yeah, look, I've got 6 more there. There is still a few more out here, so I've got about another hour left. So we'll keep going, but I've noticed a lot of pigeons feeding off the floor, so hopefully we should get a shot. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to jump back in my little hide and with a shirt. So right, after jumping in the hide, I do notice that there's a squirrel sitting on top of the tree. Be honest, he's probably been there the whole time while I've been picking these other squirrels up off the floor. But he does finally come down and he makes his way towards the feeder. I believe this is squirrel number 10. So right, I noticed this squirrel is very nervous. Obviously, you can smell the blood around the feeder. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to wait for him to settle down quickly with a peanut. And I'm just going to go and take the shot quite quick. Because I know this squirrel is going to be doing the off. So, we got to the 11th squirrel, and time is now 9 o'clock. Been here since 6:30 this morning. You know, got 11 squirrels. You know, didn't manage to get a pigeon, but do you know what, I'm going to call it a day now. I'm going to call it a day because it's getting a little bit late, but I've got a busy day ahead of me, and yeah, oh no, there's another one. There's another one up there and all. No, there ain't, there's two. No, there's a pigeon. There's a pheasant. Pheasant we go with. won't get the pheasant, but we'll get some footage on the Zulus of it. The picture is so clear. So clear. Look at that. So I've got a picture of a pheasant coming to the feeder, and there was a squirrel next to it, but he seems to have done the off. No, he ain't. He's still there. He's still there. Is he going to make his way? So it looks like might be getting number 12. So that's not a bad day at all. 12. Once I get to 12, I'm not doing no more. Oh look, he's there. Right, so bear with me. Do you know what? I always seem to miss a squirrel, you know? And I thought I'd get my 12th squirrel and I missed him. Oh, what a dickhead. What a dickhead, isn't it? Never mind, never mind. I'm really glad how today's gone. Especially with my FX Impact Mark II. This rifle is very accurate. It is a sub 12 foot-pound and a 22 caliber. And most of all, what I love about this rifle, the setup, is the scope. This Mk2 Zulus digital scope, absolutely brilliant. And the picture quality on this, as you see through that pheasant, is crystal clear. So right guys, I'm going to call it a day, and I was going to say thanks for watching my video, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. So take care. The one what got away when he thought he did. This is one I thought I missed.